It seems to me, regardless of the level, whether it be kind of fringe level or whether it be the elite level or whether it be something like this, in 2024, the excuses so far have been incredible in some cases. So, this is a boxing scene article. It was released actually this morning, quarter to 6 a.m. this morning. Francis Ngannou blames Anthony Joshua defeat on not technique, not experience. Oh, that pesky tiredness. Yes. It went 2 rounds. Not that you could get really that tired in 2 rounds, but he's blaming it. And I'll read it here. So, the article here says the Cameroonian MMA star posted a video on his Instagram account explaining that he felt fatigued on the day of the fight against Anthony Joshua, but refuses to take any credit away from Anthony Joshua for his victory over him in the Saudi Arabian capital. Leading up to the fight, it wasn't my day, Ngannou reflects. I do not mean the result would have been different, but it wasn't my day. At any moment of that day, I felt like I wasn't good to go. It wasn't your day. Did someone piss in your cornflakes? Even in the locker room trying to warm up, it wasn't going well. I was falling asleep. You're going to get that looked at. I was sweating, but I was falling asleep. That's why I took some That's why I took some time out for myself, some time to reflect on everything that happened to me. Heads up to Anthony Joshua, they did everything right. Heads up to my team too. We did everything properly, but I didn't execute the plan because I didn't feel present. Right. There's more to carry on, but let's just carry on. Ngannou is expected to return to MMA with the PFL, expecting him to feature under their promotional banner before the end of 2024. Ngannou, however, has refused to rule out competing in boxing once he has recovered and enjoyed time away from training. I'm not done yet. The only thing missing here was time. I will take some time for myself to chill and then come back to training to get ready for another challenge. Many pundits and commentators held Ngannou in high esteem before his March the 8th encounter with Anthony Joshua in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. However, Joshua's performance against Ngannou was a stark contrast to Fury's ordeal with the Cameroonian 5 months prior. Joshua demonstrated his superiority, dropping Ngannou 3 times and ultimately making light work of the former MMA fighter. To end the article. So let's dissect this real quick. All joking aside, look, he's saying things weren't going well, I was falling asleep. Okay, so like when you say, like, this is right up there with O'Hara Davis when he was saying that he blamed his loss to, what was his name, Ishmael Barossa, on the air not being right, air that was coming into his hotel room, which was making him... Listen, with O'Hara Davis, it was technique. And you could see that early on. I know he was knocked out in a round. It was clearly technique. He was making mistakes from early on, and he got lucky a few times in that first round not to walk into something because Ishmael Barossa was getting closer. So I know a fighter will always do that. And again, with this, you look at the technique, you look at his guard, you look at his lack of defense, everything. Anthony Joshua found holes. He let his shots go, and that was it. I don't think that if Ngannou, even if he's saying it was true, like he was fatigued, he was tired, etc., I don't think that would have made a blind bit of difference. I think Anthony Joshua I think most fighters, quite frankly, certainly for the top 10, yeah, most fighters would do the same. You know, they might not do it as quick. They might not take as many chances. Some of them might even do it quicker. Who knows? So him saying, look, I was falling asleep. I was sweating when I was falling asleep. That's why I took some time out for myself, some time to reflect. Yeah, look, Ngannou is going to make those excuses. He's going to say this, that, and the other. If he was... Because obviously in South... Like, when they did the ring walk for that fight, it was nearly midnight UK time. So it was late for us here. We didn't expect it to be that late. I do believe the original time they wanted to do it was around about 11 o'clock. So it dragged on for an extra hour. But you're in Saudi, bear in mind, in Saudi, you're looking at about 2 a.m., 3 a.m., thereabouts. It's later. They're ahead of us in terms of time. So, yeah, I'm sure they wouldn't have been feeling as fresh. But would you not prepare for that? Like, if you know your fight's going to be on at a unsociable time, if you're used to fighting... If you are going to be having a fight and it's going to be at like 11 p.m. UK time and you're used to that, but then you're flown over to Saudi and you're like, well, what time will I be fighting at? You could be 2 a.m., 3 a.m. You're like, all right, crap. Let's acclimatise to that. Let's get used. Let's do some training sessions that time. You know, it might not be nice, but let's do it so as though our body clock is in tune and ready, that we're not feeling, you know, like that warmed up because we're up for God knows how many hours, that sort of way. So, look, Ngannou was saying this. I understand why he does it, because a lot of fighters do make excuses. Look at Deontay Wilder, for God's sakes, the amount of excuses he makes and still makes. But I'm not buying he was sleepy or he was tired and that was the reason. I think it was just purely down to technique. And I think that Ngannou, to be able to come into box and have 2 fights against Fury and Joshua and to make millions upon millions and millions, I mean, this is generational wealth he's made from these fights. Credit to him. He's talking as well about coming back to boxing. Listen, to what end? He talked about Deontay Wilder. I think that Deontay Wilder, if he lets the trigger go, that could be dangerous, seriously dangerous for Francis Ngannou. Because if you imagine 2018 Deontay Wilder in there with Ngannou, I know in terms of physically, we're probably not going to get that Deontay Wilder, but in terms of him with the sharpness, with that killer instinct, you never know. But could you imagine that version of Wilder hitting Ngannou with that right hand? I don't want it, because I think it would be painful. I think it'd be painful as hell to see that. He talked about that. I wonder if Fury was to say fight Alexander Usyk, take an L, would they just do the rematch as a bit of a kind of last payday for both? Let's do the rematch. People, Ngannou, many people felt he beat him the first time. Fury coming off the back of the Usyk loss. If that happened, if that scenario happened, could I see them doing that? Yeah, probably could. Yeah, to be honest with you, I could. I could even see them doing Joshua versus Fury if Fury loses to Alexander Usyk. I could see both those scenarios. So I think that there probably is fights there for him if he's looking to go down the road of actually campaigning and doing it the right way, starting out at a level and working the way up. I don't know how successful he'll be. He might be able to get to a level. Is that European level? Is that fringe world level? That I don't know. He didn't look like he belonged. He certainly didn't look like he belonged at Anthony Joshua's level on fight night this day a week ago. So that's my thoughts on that. Like that Ngannou blaming tiredness on it. Yes, we've heard that before. Reminds me a lot of the O'Hara Davis one. I didn't buy that, and I ain't buying this one. Again, at the end of the day, you look at it and you say it's just technique. It's just purely down to technique. You made mistakes. You were countered. You were caught. You were stopped. Someone like Anthony Joshua, who knew what he was looking for, like the same way Ishmael Barroso, they knew what they were looking for. They saw the openings. They took them, and that's it. That's all it is. The best thing you can do is, if you really believe that, fair enough. But the best thing you can do is just say, right, let's have a look. Geez, this is what I did wrong. All right, let's rectify that. That's the best thing you can do. Because it's one thing to say he was the better man on the night. That doesn't necessarily mean he's the better man long term. And you could say, right, goddamn, I made this mistake. Let's rectify that. And let's not do it again. That's a better thing to do, in my opinion, for Ngannou. So that's my thoughts on that. Let me know yours in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed the video, people. Smash the like button if you could. Hit subscribe, of course, as always, if you haven't already. Lads, I'll leave it there. Peace.